We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. There was a nation living in peace and unity. Yeah. They are people with love and harmony. Oh, yeah. They saw greatness rise up to its purity. With another people of different culture, a different heritage, bias and oppressive. Oh, I see. A nation from trigger of Africa, rising with strength and might and power. In due time, nobody gonna praise us. Rather, you all gonna embrace her. With your flag, with your flag, with your flag, with your flag. Oh, yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. Oh yeah, Biafra is our home. Oh, it's my home. Yeah, Biafra is our home.
I reminisce way back 1967. Death toll and the blood couldn't count them even. Mama screaming, child squealing, pops on the ground. 2.5 years, over 3 million's gone. Why? Cause we asked for our freedom, and we're going back to our sovereign kingdom. They shut us down when we cried, the world said nothing. Sitting back in the crib, watching our suffering. Should I talk about the place dropping shells like rain? Suka had the first taste of a hero's blood. Abagana Zobuni wave was stronger than flood, but the juke is too strong and fought them off on the chart. Thought the bloodshed's gone, then it came again. 216 and the massacre, it started again. So bloody name, I couldn't cry tears. Blood dripping down my eyes, water in my veins. We died trying to fight the cause and we're trying to break him. It's our freedom, but the world was against us.
Wave your flag over Africa. Welcome people of Biafra. Wave your flag over all the world. See those people of Zion is here.
It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion. It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. Yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. I see the rising sun from Africa. Oh, this is time of victory. Oh, yeah. I see future in Africa. Oh, yeah. People of Biafra. See light shining on the world. Oh, yeah.
Akara m ihe mbe na-eme mbe si ma atụrụ ofu ukwu ehi ma nke ọzọ mụ atụrụ ihe niile ma ụkwụ ya ma aka ya ma isi ya ma olu ya anyị ga-adọbiri wee pụọ na nke onwe anyị tigata azụ etu anyị nọ tupu ndị ọcha wee bịa ebe a nwa aha obodo ebe a nwe ndị mmadụ n'ime tupu nwa bekee si ebe o si hapụ obodo ya ọ bịa ebe a ọkpọrọ onye nke ọkpọrọ okeke ọkpọrọ okafọ dakata anyị isi ọ sị n'ụbọchị nke taa na anya aha anyị wuzi Naijiria anyị na-aza aha na-emeghị omimi n'ime ya ihe mgbagbasị biko kọwara m ihe Naijiria pụtara ewepụ ya kọwara m ọmụa ga-aza aha osimiri ka osimiri ga-aza aha mụnwa n'ihi ihe anyị na-ekwu na ebe a rụgidere ụlọ a na ọ jọgburu onwe ya ọ dịghị mma. Naijiria agaghị emekọtanwu ihe ọzọ. Ihe ọjọọ emego n'obodo a, arụ emego, egbugo ndị be anyị, aka na-egbukwa anyị, ndị Fulani wee chere na mabata be anyị ka na-egbukwa ndị be anyị ruo ụtụtụ echi. A na-asị m na ọ ga-adị mma oge ọ na-ekwu ka enwe mmekọrịta bụ nke ndị iro kọ nke ndị ụmụnne. Ha egosighị anyị ọtụtụ mgbe na ha kpọrọ anyị asị. Onye ajụrụ ajụ na-ajụ onwe ya, ha jụrụ anyị aja ama njụ onwe anyị, agbanyeghị na anyị nwe ngwa ahịa n'ugwu Awụsa, agbanyeghị na anyị na-azụ ahịa ebe niile dị iche iche na-eme nke ọma, kama onye gara ndụ kpakụ onye ire rie niile. Ọ Ndụbụisi ka anyị na-ekwu okwu ya ka anyị cheghata azụ ebe a unu obodo anyị ka o wee maa mma wee karịa obodo ndị ọcha na mma. Ọhịa anyị na-arịọ nwekwe n'ugwu nwee nkwanye ugwu n'ime onwe anyị. Ọnwa anyị pụọ n'iro a na-etigbu anyị, anyị pụọ n'iro ekwu okwu asị ọ bụ gịnị ma anyị ji wee ekwu okwu. Ụmụ ihe ndị a ka anyị sị na anyị agaghị anabatakwa ya ọzọ.
Akụkọ akọrọ anyị bụ na ọkụkọ na ewu agaghị nzukọ ụmụ anụmanụ. A na-emezi mgbe ọbụla a chọrọ ịchụ aja ejiri ọkụkọ maọbụ ịchụ aja. Mgbe ọbụla a chọrọ ime ka Naijiria dị n'otu enwe ha na-eto esi mgbe kpam akpụrụ ndị Igbo. Ọ pụtara na anyị bụ ọkụkọ maọbụ ka ọ pụtara na anyị agaghị nzukọ mere ya bụ ihe eji eme anyị bụ ndị Igbo ụdị na ọbara ndị Igbo ahụ kpafu n'obodo Naijiria akaja.
Ọ bụ site na akpamasị ihe na-eme anyị dịka ihe mere ndị ji oge mgbe gara aga. Etu akụkọ mba niile dị iche iche ji kpọọ ụmụ Izrel asị, a na-egbu ha, a na-egbu ha, a na-egbu ha, afọ niile aka na-egbu ha na-egbu ha. O wee ruo oge ugbu anyị asị na ogbugbu a na-egbu anyị na ọ dịghị anyị mma. Ọ ka mma na onwe ihe ekegbuo anyị wu nwere onwe njem a nke anyị na-aga kama na na-ese etete n'ụtụtụ asị na onwe onye gburu ebe a onwe ha na-ekwu okwu. O doo na nyere onwe onye n'aka ụkọchukwu n'ugwu Awụsa ebepụ isi ọnwụghị ofu ugboro, ọnwụghị ugboro abụọ, ọnwụghị ugboro atọ, ọnwụghị ugboro anọ. Ọ bụ ruo ole mgbe ka a ga-egbugide anyị wee rue anyị asị mba na anyị ga-aga ka anyị nwee ike wee nwere onwe anyị. Ọ ka mma na anyị nwụrụ ebe anyị na-azọ nwere onwe tụbụ na anyị nọ n'ụlọ etu a mmadụ ibe mabata n'ime ụlọ mbịa bupụ m isi a sị na achọghị ụdị nka. Ọ wụghị anyị maka a ga-eji wee chụọ àjà ọzọ.
Onye si na a ga-ata anyị ahụhụ ma ọ bụ na anyị ife arụsị anyị wee na-efe arụsị iwe were iwe gị na ọmụma gị wee bịa leta anyị, ụmụ anyị wee na-anwụsị. Ụfọdụ nọ n'ụzọ ije ha anaghị alọta ụlọ ọzọ. Nne na nna wee na-ata ahụhụ wee na-ata ikikere eze. Nwaanyị konye ka ọ gaa ubi ga arụ ọrụ, Fulani chiri ehi bata ebe ala gị nne n'iyi okwu ebepụ ya isi. Anyị bụ ka anyị kpọpụ onye nwe anyị n'ugwu Awụsa ahụ ejide anyị wee gbuo. Ihe ọ bụ anyị mara aka n'ime ha si maka ha aga n'ihu. Elekwa ọdụ ụgbọ mmiri n'igwe ọcha bụ ememiri ọya nke dị na Kalaba otu aka ahụ. Anyị na-ala nsọ ebe Biafra ebe ndị kọstọm sokonye anyị n'etiti anyị. Anyị anọghị n'ime mmiri kama kọstọm jiri ebe niile. Ha wee na-ata anyị ahụhụ. Anyị kwuo ekwesịpụta anyị ka kpọchie, anyị kwuo ekwesịpụta anyị ka gbagbuo anyị. Onye nwe anyị na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe ọ bụ ụzọ dị agaghị isi na-ebu ndị iro anyị n'anya wee karịa ndị nke gị. Akwa anyị bụ ụmụ Chineke, akwa ọba aha anyị ka anyị na-aza, akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza ike Chukwu, akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza amara Chineke, akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chisom, akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chizọba, nna nke dị nsọ, onye ime eluigwe dịka otu onye iro dị na anyị bụ ụmụ gị. Bịa ka iwe zọpụta anyị, bịa ka iwe napụta anyị n'aka ajọ ihe, bịa ka iwe lụọrọ anyị ọgụ, bịa ka iwe detu ozu. Ọ bụ ọkọwa mgbe emilere Goliath, Chineke nna nke igwe ruo ememila Fero site otu a mee ka Fero ka ọ guzo n'ihu ụmụ ndị anyị ga-ebi ka o wee taa akọkọ igiri ọtọ ọzọ. Ị ga na-edu anyị n'ụzọ niile nke ezi omume. Ọ bụla adịghị na anyị na-aga ndagwurugwu onyinye ọnwụ. Ọ bụ nwa bụ ekekere n'igwe n'ụwa, onye ọbụla kere gị n'oge mmalite n'oge ọgwụgwụ, kama anyị onwe anyị gwa anọkpa ahụ ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ n'ezie, kama mara akọ na okwu gị na-anọgide ego mgbe ebighị ebi. Ọ bụ ya mere anyị ji were gị n'anya isi, anyị wee na-asị nna nke dị nsọ, bịa ka iwe gosi anyị Biafra na ndụ na-abụghị n'ọnwụ, bịa ka iwe na-ekebe gị na amara gị wee kpuchiri anyị ka uwe, bịa ka iwe zọpụta ndị nke gị, bịa ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ka anyị na-ewetụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'aha gị onye bụ Chukwu nke abịa ma.
Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for joining us once again on this very evening broadcast. We are here on our evening broadcast and we are going to deal with some very important topic this evening. We have dealt with this topic during the daytime and we are going to touch it more. We are going to deal with it more. There are more things to be discussed, there are more things to be exposed, and we will continue to expose the Zoological Republic and all their plans. So, wherever you are watching this program from, I urge you to like and share this program to all platforms, to like and share to family and friends, because we are about to open the can of worm. Remember what is in place today. There is a major propaganda, a major blackmail that is going on. There is a secret Cold War that is going on now in the United States. And this war is between the Biafran people and Nigerian government. And I bet you it is going to turn around to the good of the Biafran people. Because from every indication, people are asking questions. People are asking questions. Why is it that this is happening? With the information that is coming out of the billions of millions of dollars that Nigerian government is spending to crush the truth, instead of taking correction and working on the problem, they are focused on crushing the truth. And we will not allow them to crush the truth. That is why everybody must wake up. Whether you are a Biafra or not a Biafra, this is not just about the Biafran people. It is about the freedom of the people. If you genuinely want to be free from slavery, if you are tired of insecurity, if you are tired of poverty in Nigeria, you are tired of bad economy, bad road, intimidation, and fraud, you must speak up. You must join us, share the program, do your own part, and let Chukwuka Gabiama do his own work. Because a lot of things is happening and more is going to happen. That is why we are coming this evening to speak on the Nigerian Biafra lobby battle, the untold story, Nigeria's most defiant resistance to Islamization. It is no longer story. It is no longer story that the people that are holding Nigeria ransom today are making sure that Nigeria did not escape is the Biafran people. The people that are stopping the atrocities of Nigeria today, the people that have pushed forward the call to support the freedom of the people in that contraction today is no other people than the Igbos, but especially the genocide of the Igbos metamorphosed into Christian genocide, and the US decided to choose that term to fight. We cannot relent in our efforts to speak. We cannot hide ourselves. The only thing you and I have to do is to continue to speak the best way we can. There is no doubt that we are the ones in the front line making sure that the voice of the people is heard. Wonderful people of Biafra, wherever you're watching this program from, I say good evening, all of us of freedom. Good evening, all defenders of truth, justice, and identity. Wherever you are watching around the world, Africa, Europe, and America, Asia, I welcome you. This broadcast is not accidental. It is not accidental. It is historical, it is deliberate, and it is necessary. I want you to pay attention, and as you are listening and watching, please kindly share. Today, we are going to speak about the greatest resistance to Islamization Nigeria has ever witnessed. The greatest resistance Islamization have ever witnessed in Nigeria. We are going to speak about the tribe they could not conquer, could not erase, and could not assimilate. And finally, we are going to speak about why international recognition of Biafra is no longer optional, but essential for peace and security in Nigeria and in the Sahel region. This is a fact that is not deniable. It doesn't matter how you think about it, that is the truth. This is not a message of hatred, not at all. It is not a message of violence, not at all. It is a message of truth, history, and justice. Wherever you are watching from, I want you to pay attention. Let us begin with honesty. Islamization in Nigeria has never been just about religion. It has always been political, strategic, and territorial. Across history, Islamization has moved with political power, military expansion, cultural replacement, demographic pressure. In Nigeria, this process found fertile ground. It found fertile ground. Through state power, military rule, policy manipulation, and false national unity. But here is the truth they rarely discuss. Islamization did not succeed everywhere. In Biafra land, it never succeeded, and it will never succeed. It has never and will never succeed. There was one major region, one major people that consistently resists, not with terrorism, not with chaos, but with cultural resilience, community unity, and spiritual conviction. Yes, we have resisted them. Let us speak plainly. The Igbo people, Biafrans, represent the strongest and most consistent resistance to Islamization in Nigeria. The Igbos. The strongest resistance to Islamization in Nigeria. Take it to the bank. This resistance did not begin yesterday. It did not begin with social media. It did not begin with protests. It began with history, identity, and worldview, the Igbo social structure. The Igbo social structure rejects imposed religion authority, rejects feudal domination, rejects caliphate style control. The Igbos don't accept that. Their culture don't align with that. Their culture never and will never ever align with that. Igbo society is decentralized, Republican, and community driven. That alone made Islamization structurally impossible. You cannot impose a caliphate where people believe authority comes from the people. Leadership is accountable. Identity is inherited, not imported. That is what we believe. And for that, there's no way Islamization can work in our nation. When persuasion failed, force was attempted. Colonial manipulation, post-colonial military domination, civil war, economic strangulation, political marginalization. Yet still, Biafra did not convert. Biafra did not submit. Biafra did not surrender its identity. Instead, what happened? The religion became economically resilient, spiritually independent, culturally assertive. That resistance is not extremism. That resistance is self-preservation. In the aspect of religion, we have done excellently well. The Biafran people have done excellently well in self-preservation. In religion aspect, you cannot take that away from them. Never. There's no way you can take it away. Now, let us address the elephant in the room. Nigeria refused to recognize Biafra's right to self-determination, has not created unity. It has created endless insecurity, cycle of resentment, radicalization across region, instability spilling into the Sahel. You cannot force incompatible identity into a single political structure and expect peace. Never. Peace does not come from coercion. Peace comes from consent. That is how you get peace. Consent. This is where international community must wake up. Biafra recognition is not a Nigerian internal issue alone. That is why they are lobbying today. No matter how they lobby, the world should know that Biafra recognition is not Nigerian internal issue alone. It is a West African stability issue, a Sahel security issue, a global migration issue, a counter extremism issue. That is why our interests, that is where our interests align with that of the United States. When people are denied identity and justice, extremism finds space. Extremism finds space. Violence finds recruits. Borders become unsafe. But when people are recognized, cooperation increases. Borders stabilize. Extremism loses legitimacy. Recognition prevents war. Denial sustains conflict. You must know this. You must know this. Don't run away from it. You must know this. Biafra. Let me be very clear. Biafra is not a war project. It is not. Biafra is not a religious war agenda. Biafra is not about domination. Biafra is a peace project, a self-governance project, a coexistent solution. It allows Muslims to practice Islam freely elsewhere, Christians and traditional believers to live without fear, religion to cooperate as equal, not prisoners. That is what Biafra stands for. To the United Nations, to the African Union, to ECOWAS, to the European Union, to global human rights institutions, silence is no longer essential. It's no longer neutral. Silence is no longer neutral. Ignoring Biafra does not preserve Nigeria. It destabilizes West Africa entirely. Recognition does not create chaos. It prevents it. I want you to know this and know it very well. To Biafrans watching me this evening, wherever you're watching from, as a Biafran, remain peaceful, remain disciplined, remain focused. Do not lose the moral high ground upon which you stand. Don't lose it. To allies around the world, more especially the United States of America, share the message, discuss it, challenge the silence. History rewards who chooses justice early and condemn those who delay it. I urge every one of you that is watching, wherever you're watching from, you can suppress a people, you can delay justice, but you cannot erase identity. The greatest resistance Nigeria faced was not violence, it was people who refused to disappear. Biafra is not a threat to peace. Biafra is missing key to it. Today, you don't need to pay $9 million. You don't need to pay $9 million to stop the truth. You don't need to pay $9 million to stop the Biafran truth. You need to accept the truth. Believe so that everybody can live at peace. This is the truth, the undeniable truth, that no matter how they continue to deny it, it will continue to haunt them every day. So, my fellow Biafrans that are watching, wherever you are watching this program from, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama, don't allow anybody to deceive you, to distract you, to push you right, left, or center. remain consistent because our freedom is here. 2026 is going to be a joke. So many things are going to unfold. So many things are going to happen. Wherever you are, I want you to pay attention. Continue to watch closely. The road upon which we are going is the right way. The road is very broad, open for you and I. We are heading to our promised land. Nobody is going to be a stumbling block because it is appointed time by Chukwu Okike Abiama. At this appointed time by Chukwu Okike Abiama, nothing will stop us. Nothing will stop it. Our freedom is sure. The time has come, and there is nothing anybody can do. The only thing we need to do is to position ourselves properly. Position yourself properly. Put yourself in a proper position and join us in this movement to Biafra land. The train have left the station already. We are driving direct to Biafra land and nothing, no stumbling block can stop us. If you want them to stop you, they will stop you. There is going to be obstacle. There is going to be propaganda. There is going to be blackmail. There is going to be all manner of obstruction. But I bet you, we are equal to the task. We are equal to the task. No matter the millions of dollars they are pushing into this, their propaganda, that is the final straw that will break the camel's back. Already, people are talking. Questions are being asked. Why would the government spend $9 million to twist the truth? Something that is very clear to everybody. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry knows the truth. Why are you paying millions of dollars to change the truth? Why? Why are you so scared of the truth? Why are you so afraid of the truth? Why are you so afraid of the truth? We will not allow them. No matter what they do, no matter what they say, we will never allow them. Now, I want to take you to their stations to show you what they are saying in their own platform, what they are discussing about us. Because they are afraid, they are scared. They are making us their topic. The discussion is going. Tension, that is a great tension in Nigeria. This battle of lobby that is going on, I bet you, it is not the amount you pay for lobbying will not determine whether you're going to win or not. The truth can never be covered. I thank you, Chukwu Okike Abiama, for the government of Donald Trump, who, no matter how bad they are not as corrupt as Democrats. No matter how evil they are not as evil as Democrats. At least they have some atom of truth in them. They have conscience and they pay attention. It's an opportunity of a million times that we cannot miss. And I urge every one of us, wherever you are, that we must pay attention. We must pay attention now. Begin to do what we have to do while we still have the time. You must not lose your guard. No matter what you hear, no matter what you see, no matter the propaganda, no matter the blackmail, you must stand your ground. The journey to the promised land have just begun. The journey to the promised land has just begun. In this year, a lot is going. Even in this January, so many things are still going to happen. Many things are going to happen. The United Kingdom is going to be stripped of all the strength they have, all the power. All those mago they are doing, all those evil agenda, all those wickedness of the United Kingdom will be stripped of them very soon. I want you to pay attention. Don't get discouraged. Don't get confused. Because our destination is definitely freedom, and we are going to win this battle. No matter what happens, we are going to win this battle. I want you to pay attention. Pay attention to this very video I'm about to play. And I bet you, At the end of the day, you will be glad you did. Let us hear what they are saying in their own cage, in their own gathering. Let's hear them out.
Nigeria is battled to shape Washington's view of its internal security crisis has spilled into a lobbying war, with the federal government dramatically outspending Biafran secessionist groups as both sides seek President Donald Trump's ear over claims of a Christian genocide, according to UK publication African Confidential. Alarmed by Trump's threat last November to go into Nigeria guns a-blazing, President Bola Tinubu's administration and its allies have moved swiftly to counter separatist narratives in the US capital, signing the $750,000 a month deal for 6 months renewable contract with the Republican-linked DCI group to press Abuja's case on visa policy, military cooperation, trade and tariffs, and to emphasize government's efforts to protect Christians and Muslims and combat jihadist violence. Joining us now on this show to discuss the lobbying scramble that has unfolded alongside US-Nigeria security contacts is Kule Fagbemi, National Security and Defense Scholar. Good morning, Dr. Fagbemi, and thank you very much for joining us on the morning show.
A very good morning to you, Dr. Ruben Abati.
Well, Dr. Fagbemi, you must have been following the controversy. I was saying yesterday that it's a legitimate thing for a government to lobby. It's a tested, established tradition in the United States, just so that your own side of the story can be heard, and not just one side being heard. So you lobby, you put your story out there through various means, through contacts, agents. But some Nigerians are saying that this looks extravagant, that Nigeria is going to spend, I think in total about, is it $9 million, 4.5 plus 4.5, about that, $9 million. But what do you think? Do you think the Nigerian government should just fold its arms while, it's been discredited in major centers, major capitals of the world?
Thank you very much, Dr. Abati. Ordinarily, lobbying is not a bad idea in terms of engaging stakeholders. However, when you put it in perspective, we are dealing with a situation that when you do lobby, you want to provide additional data which may help to corroborate, validate, verify, or otherwise determine. In this case, when you're talking about the US government relating with the Nigerian state, the first question you need to ask is, how do you understand the access and capacity of the United States to gather information and data to process, to reinforce their own foreign policy regarding your country? If there was no poverty of intellectualism and rigors of analytic capacity on this part of the Nigerian state, it would have been open to us that the United States government already has multiple sources of gathering data concerning the Nigerian state. There is the United States government, federal government of Nigeria relations at the diplomatic, the military, and through a series of overseas development assistance programs, which allows them to access official data and to interact with state actors within the Nigerian space, which automatically means that in terms of their joint security working group, in terms of all the dynamics of training, intelligence gathering, and sharing, they have this. But unfortunately, what we are now saying to ourselves, and we have just done, is that we are saying that you want to provide somebody who already has more information and data about Nigeria than you yourself in some cases.
Very, very interesting. Very, very, I love it. Very interesting. Because That's why I say this 9 million they are throwing is is money thrown in the forest, and you are going to see it. Chukwu Okike Abiama is not asleep. Just as this man is trying to explain, the United States has more than enough information. Because it is not just about throwing the money to them, you have to bring some evidence, some data to align with what you are saying. You have to bring evidence to align with what it is not just lobbying. Because you see Donald Trump brother, you go and meet Donald Trump brother, uncle, or in-law, whatever, and you think he will just come and meet Donald Trump and say, it is when you have done your own work very well, only then and then you go to lobby and it becomes reasonable. But in this case, where the terrorism is in the highest level, has even intensified more than ever, and you are going to tell people that, well, let's hear this man.
Full of the fact that the U.S. government, through multilateral platforms, do give support to NGOs, even to government. A number of initiatives in the Office of the National Security Advisor that has been identified as the sponsor of this lobby procurement. They have USAID, US government initiatives supporting them, and they already get data. It therefore means that it is wrong, and that was why initially some of us were pleading with Messrs. Daniel Buhala and the others to kindly tone down their rhetoric of the noise they were making, because the folks that were talking from the United States aren't enough data. Mind you, you equally have the diaspora component resident in the United States, and you have the information sharing between US government and EU countries that fall into NATO, and you have the media access. And one of the few things that we must never forget is that a number of data that are used by international and foreign missions all over the world are open source, and they are media based. And you have the conventional media, the traditional media like Arise, that they can easily monitor and collect data from. And then you have the social media platforms. And when you're talking about the social media platforms, you'll be talking in terms of Facebook, WhatsApp, you'll be talking in terms of Snapchat, Instagram, and the like. It should interest us to note that X, that formerly was Twitter, we have 7.5 million Nigerians that are subscribed to X. And we have 48.7 million Nigerians on Facebook. On Instagram, we already have 9.9 to 12.6 million. TikTok, we have 37.4 million. On WhatsApp, we have 51 million penetration in terms of subscription. And we have Snapchat, YouTube, and all others. Now, if the US government that we know and the way they take serious information, media monitoring, gathering, and data analysis, we are already aware that they will have more than enough information. So when you are now pushing a lobby project, it means that you must be mindful that whatever you are going to be presenting to them will not really affect their decision making. The foreign policy framework of the United States is already cast in such a way that such lobby will not really make any significant input.
Well, it's interesting you make that point, because I've several people have been drawing parallels between this instance and what we saw happening in South Africa, for example, with a group called AfriForum that was accused of doing a very similar thing that this particular Biafra agitation group is said to have done. However, in the South African case, the data available negated all of these accusations or allegations, if I may call them that. In the Nigerian instance, there are those who are saying that, well, the Nigerian government has had to toe this line because there is a sense of an admission of guilt. What do you think? Do you think that towing this line is an admission of guilt or complicity? in some of the issues happening? Because we've seen several governments just stand up to the United States and say, we say no, this is not what's happening, and not use taxpayers' money to try and placate them or bargain with them. What are your thoughts on this?
Thank you very much, Vimbai, for helping to situate it correctly.
Amazing.
What you're asking us to discuss now is the opportunity cost of deploying $750,000 US dollars, which is equivalent of about 1.125 billion naira every month, just for advocacy. Whereas, in terms of development, if you are to look at the spectrum of the Sustainable Development Goals, you will discover there are a lot that we can do and achieve deploying that resource, particularly when you look at it from the angle of the internally displaced persons that do not have access to various amenities that will ensure that they have a standard livelihood and be properly catered for and allowed to live like human beings. When you look at the fact that this is more of a procurement thing, then you will discover that how come the disclosure instruments by the DCI group has indicated that the intermediary entity that handled this is one Asta Legal Services situated in Choice Plaza, Alkali Road in Kaduna. Is that entity an SPV under the Security Defense Management Architecture of the Nigerian state? If so, what exactly went through the Office of the National Security Advisor in terms of the procurement procedures according to the laws of the Nigerian state? That is not clear, and I'm hoping that the appropriate committees of the National Assembly will do their oversight. Again, when you look at it from the angle of access to information, when you are deploying resources for a particular purpose and objective, when you take a look at it and compare and contrast this same with what had been in public domain before now, you need to ask yourself, how does this affect your integrity status? As it is now, indirectly, this is casting aspersion on the officials of the Nigerian state that came out forcefully and were very vociferous in stating that there wasn't nothing that can be related to what the accusation had indicated. And I want to believe that a certain Daniel Buhala, amongst others, will apologize to Nigerians. A Daniel Buhala will be gracious to apologize to my very good
They will not apologize.
Over there, Rufai, that they got this wrong and they were only grandstanding. And when you are grandstanding, you need to understand there is a limit. Now that we are now at this point that they are deploying resources for lobbying, it is clear that we need to now ask them the question, how much are you spending for the rehabilitation of the IDPs? How much are you deploying for the reconstruction and development of the Christian worship centers and other entities and things like that that were destroyed? How much compensation are we going to be paying to the victims of some of these atrocious murder, assassination, and the like that have taken place? Are we now going to be paying compensation to the families of the deceased? Are we going to provide resources for the Christian community to rebuild the churches, for the Muslim community to rebuild the mosques that have been destroyed? Those are the realities that we need to begin to discuss. So when you contrast it with what you are trying to bring up about the South African situation, where the information that went out was not necessarily a true reflection of reality, what we are dealing with in Nigeria, we have more than, yes sir.
And that's why I said, rather than lobbying yesterday, why don't we fix our problems? And I'll give you an instance. On the 3rd of January 2026, the story emerged around the 4th and the 5th of January. attack happened in Kwasandaji markets. Several people were killed, about 37 to 42. But the interesting part is several others were abducted, numbers not known. But let me excite you even more. Some of the students from Papiri that were recently released were re-abducted. Till date, we have not seen any measure by the government to release them. But we are shelling out over $1 billion in lobbying. I want you to talk about these priorities. Then secondly, why this company? Who approved or made the approval for them as regards the money? How was the money transferred? Who were the receiving group in America? Who are the contact persons?
Oh, God.
Can the lobbying group give us a profile of how they are executing? All these things are beyond the realms of state secrets.
Smart people everywhere.
Thank you very much, Rufai. In terms of procurement, it is clear that we have questions to ask. Ordinarily, if it was a stricto sensu security intelligence deployment expenditure under Regulation 1, we may not be allowed to ask questions. But the moment this is transcending from security into international relations, foreign relations, diplomacy, diplomatic practice, we are allowed to ask questions. I am hoping that the National Assembly, particularly the Senate Committee on Intelligence and the House Corollary on Intelligence, and then the Foreign Affairs Committees, are going to be gracious enough and responsible enough to do their due diligence of oversight to ask the questions. The identity of the interface entity on the Nigerian side is already known. The identity of the DCI group is known, and based on the right of disclosure clauses available in the United States government, there are some instruments already in public domain, one of which has identified that the authorizing person on the Nigerian side is a certain Malam Nuhu Ribadu, who is the incumbent national security advisor, which automatically means that to do a thorough investigation and inquest is so simple and straightforward. I am hoping that the Office of the National Security Advisor will be more than gracious to disclose what needs to be disclosed so that we can put some of these things to rest. And mind you, this is one of the reasons why either to have always held the position that the Office of National Security Advisor should strictly stay to the statutory constitutional role of advising. If they do, we will not be in such a mess like we are having now. Because ordinarily, if you had deployed a multivariate analytic framework of PESTEL, for example, which is at the primary level, you would have discovered that there was no need to go employ the services of any lobby group. Again, and I want to stress it, if the priorities of the Nigerian state under the incumbent administration was in tandem with sustainable development goals, there wouldn't have been any reason for them to deploy this kind of humongous resource, which is already in the excess of 13 billion naira. When you put 13 billion naira in perspective, what it will give to you is very, very meaningful.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Kunle Fabimi, for joining us on the morning show.
This is very interesting. This man just nailed it. Very, very interesting. The man just nailed it the way it's supposed to be. And I think by tomorrow we are still going to visit this very program and talk about it more, because this is what we are talking about. And I said it in the morning that no matter the amount they pay, it will never stop the truth from coming out. And for the fact that today we are dealing with a man that has conscience to an extent, more Donald Trump. Whatever money they are throwing is just like pouring water in a rock. It is not going to change the truth. It is not going to twist anything. The truth will prevail. And I bet you that they're going to get it hot. You are trying to lobby and you're paying lobby firm such huge amount of money trying to change it. You can't change anything. You can no more. The more you try, the more you fail. And that amount of money they marked out, it shows that they have admitted of their fault. So Biafra is winning in all angles. The Biafran people, we are winning. We are winning in all angles, in all sections. The only thing we are praying is that United States of America should take a step forward and speak the language, disintegration. Let everybody be on their own, run their own affairs in their own area, the way it should be for peace, a peaceful disintegration, and we are going to get there. Let us continue to listen to it again. Let's hear another part of this their news, and you will see the failures that is happening in that contraction called Nigeria. Even as they are lobbying, you are going to see what is coming out from their news. More propaganda and lies coming out in their news, and we will continue to bring them as they come.
Joining us now with stories trending around the world is Anizi Osakwe.
Yes.
Good morning, Annie.
Good morning. Dr. Abati, how are you doing?
Good.
Good. Bye-bye.
Good morning, Annie and
Good morning.
Peggy.
Yes, you know, I don't wear it often, something different. Why not? Rufai, good morning.
Annie Davos.
Annie Davos, yes. From Ogidi to Davos. I like that. That's in my head. Yes, and good morning to everyone out there. Thank you all for starting your day with us. We begin what's trending with a flood of reactions on social media to new reports that 20 people are now in captivity after the notorious terrorist Bello Turji attacked the Gajit community in the Sabon Birni local government area of...
Did you hear that? Even as they are lobbying, Bello Turji is taking lives, taking people, kidnapping. Even as they are lobbying, telling US that is not happening, they paid 9 million. And even with that, they are 9 million. The attack has continued and intensified to another greater level. It's good that we hear it and we bring them out and expose them.
Sokoto State. Now, here's what we know. The kidnapping took place on Tuesday with both men and women abducted and 2 people were injured. It comes as Turji, as you see on your screen, has indicated his plans to fully control parts of eastern Sokoto State, which has led to the mass displacement of residents and families, as seen in this video you see, that has been trending all week. I'll take some quick reactions to people. One person says, nah, what is all this? And why do we even have executives? How can a bandit be this loud and bold, yet nothing has been done? The more you look at the ongoing scenes in Nigeria, the more you question your sanity. Joseph says, is there no police in northern Nigeria? Why are these terrorists moving from town to town without being challenged, but police mount checkpoints in southern Nigeria to extort motorists? Meanwhile, disturbing new pictures are circulating on social media that show the release of 17 people of different ages, all abducted from the evangelical church Winning All in Ayetoro Kiri of Kogi State. Now, according to the National Public Secretary of the Communities Development Association, 3 people were released on Monday, with an additional 14 released on Tuesday. And as you can see in these new pictures, it's mostly elderly people, young kids who had been in captivity since the 14th of December, when 30 of them were kidnapped during a service. Now, according to the association, this was very much a community effort that led to bringing these people back safely, saying that they worked with families of the people who were abducted, community leaders. And a lot of the people are saying, you know, why is there such a vacuum when it comes to security and police presence in these states? Where is everyone? Rufai, I'll start with you.
And that's exactly what we're saying. I would rather We are bringing people back home, releasing people, showing that the government cares, rather than spend that money, billions of lobbying. Okay, look at it now. Part of the terms and conditions, please, Bimba, read in that lobbying contract for us, please. I just want you to read to be able to talk about the things we are doing to safeguard the Christian communities in it. Does this story show that we are safeguarding the Christian communities?
Nothing, safeguarding my food.
People, Christians, were abducted in the church since 14th of December. They had to do community effort to bring them back. No government. And it's not only them. These ones, they will have paid some ransom. So, with a story like this, very good. True as in communicating its action to protect Nigerian Christian communities, maintaining U.S. support in countering jihadist group and other disabilities, does this communicate action that you are protecting Christian communities where it is the Christian communities that have to look for a way to be able to get their people out? See the way they were dehumanized. Let me talk about a case. Reverend Archie was killed just because of his faith. We've been making an agenda for his wife that has been in captivity since Reverend Archie was killed weeks ago. I've been advocating for Reverend Archie's killing when I was on holidays in England. I came back to this country on the 3rd of December. So before then, Reverend Archie's wife had been in captivity. I don't know if they have released Reverend Archie's wife, only if they will release her tomorrow. No government, no government agency. The last time it was the family that was running around. Reverend Archie's body was only released after the family had gone to put some money forward to the criminals. Reverend Archie was picked up in his home. So does this, rather than doing all of this, why don't we capitalize or focus on how we can solve the problem? I was reading in African reports as regards this lobbying thing that one lawyer was paid $5,000 just to write a letter to some American, what's they call the senators or something. $5,000 to write a letter.
Lawyer deserves his wages.
I'm not saying they don't deserve their wages, Dr. But I'm not arguing that lawyer doesn't deserve their wages.
But Abati go support them now.
But
this Abati is the devil.
So I think it's time for us to do deal. As we speak today, I don't even know, maybe if the government, let's even set up a website, a glossary of all of those and index that have been kidnapped, so that we even know the cases that are currently on, the cases that we are pursuing. Because I know it can even be overwhelmed that they will lose track of most of these cases. The cases that have been opened up, what's the coordinated effort? See this woman, see what she has been through. Her face tells the story of Nigeria. When we say Nigeria happened now, the data boys and those under PRO establishment, they will come and tell you that you are stupid, you are mad, that you hate Nigeria. The emergency lovers of Nigeria will come.
Yeah.
So maybe if you can even set up a website, have a glossary, a reporting website that we can all harmonize, so that we know the cases that we are on track. And please, for what it's worth, ensure that Reverend Archie's wife gets out there.
Absolutely, solutions.
The whole issue is about the worsening state of insecurity in Nigeria and the impunity of non-state actors. Bello Tuji Kachala, those are his full names, known for short as Bello Tuji, is considered the most notorious terrorist bandit in the northwestern part of Nigeria. Now, before this latest attack in that local government in Sokoto, it was reported to have given the people in that area 24 hours notice to leave their homes. And I think there were videos of persons actually running away. And then this latest attack, he taking control of the place, injuring people, abducting more than 20 residents in that community in Sokoto East. Now, this Bello Tuji first came to fame, I think, in 2022, when in one particular incident, he was reported to have killed over 200 persons, he and his gang. Now, do you know the irony? The irony is that at a point, this same Bello Tuji, whether he was granted interview or whatever, was reported to have been given heinous vehicles by a sitting governor in Nigeria. So this romance between authority figures and bandits and terrorists who should be arrested and brought to book is part of the problem. Now, I think in that same northwestern axis of Nigeria, whether it was Bello Tuki or somebody, there was an arrangement to even give him a chieftaincy title by a community. So you see, the impunity of non-state actors emboldens them. You know, and the connivance of the state or state figures encourages these non-state actors to continue in this regard. It's not as if the authorities do not know who he is. It's not as if they don't know where he operates. So it speaks beyond insecurity to the failure of the state to apprehend these criminal elements. And it's the same thing with the Equa Church in Kogi State, right? In the community in Kogi State. Now, over 30 persons were abducted on December 14. Now, on January 1, we were told that 4 persons were released. By January 13, 4 persons were released because 3 were reported to have died. They gave them 3 corpses, released 4. On January 13, they released 14 more persons. Now, on January 14, they released another set of 6. Now they've released total 24 persons. We're told that 17 persons are still in custody. And all of this as a result of the effort of the Community Development Association and the families. You ask yourself again, where are state agents?
That's the question.
Where are the people who have a constitutional obligation to protect Nigerians? And that's why it looks helpless, you know, whether the victims are, you know, Christians or they are Muslims.
Right.
You know, we're on that seat. But the only good story there is that the Minister of Defense now says they are setting up new training depots, one in Ebonyi State and some elsewhere to scale up, you know, the Nigerian government living up to its responsibility. We will comment on it when we see the results, and we will say, well, the state authorities have woken up and they are no longer jollofing and pepper souping with bandits and terrorists.
Yes, such key points. Residents should not have to fend for themselves. But from insecurity, let's now head to our next story, sports. With the country reacting with a sense of pride, albeit sadness, at the Super Eagles' hard-fought.
That is what we see. You have seen it. As they continue their lie and propaganda, we will continue to expose them. Just as they are paying their so-called 9 million for lobby. Look at how their country is. And this ape face that is supporting the lobby. Today you have seen it. As if I knew about this very program before I challenged him in the morning when he was talking rubbish, talking about the lobby, how he are demarketing Nigeria. Very useless and nonsensical set of people. And I want to bring another one. Let them continue their propaganda. Will they follow them? Finally, their defense minister have now remembered that he want to handle the issue of Shegumi. They can no longer allow Shegumi to continue to push his propaganda. But we are waiting for them to arrest him. If you don't arrest Shegumi, all these things, na shakara. We have heard them talk, maybe today. So let us go to the other section of the news also. Let's see what they are saying. They want to arrest Shegumi. Are they going to arrest Shegumi or just propaganda? Let's hear them.
It's now time to take a look at news making stories. Making headlines, all around the world. Of course, we begin right here at home. As the Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, retired, has warned Sheikh Ahmed Gumi and others sympathetic to terrorists and bandits to stop their subversive endeavor, saying, and I quote, "A friend of a thief is a thief." Speaking yesterday during an official visit to Maiduguri, the minister said those engaged in acts of terrorism and banditry did not represent any form of regional, ethnic, or religious brotherhood. The warning came as the Nigerian army said it had taken a significant step towards strengthening its manpower development and national security framework with the construction of a new training depot at Amasiri, Eda, located within Afipo and Eda local government areas of Ebonyi State. Musa explained that his remarks were deliberate and purposeful, not merely symbolic. He stressed that Nigerians must refrain from supporting or justifying criminal activities in any form. He said the warning directly responded to narratives previously advanced by Sheikh Gumi, who had referred to bandits hiding in forests as, and I quote, our brothers, and suggested that society could not function without them. Musa stated that Nigeria could not defeat terrorism and banditry, while dangerous narratives blurred the line between victims and perpetrators. Now on to some cheery news, as the federal government has recorded a major breakthrough in the education sector with the...
It is important we hear that. Let us see if they are going to arrest Sheikh Gumi. No be only to talk for mouth. No be only to talk for mouth. We know that Sheikh Gumi is untouchable for them. We know that Sheikh Gumi is another staunch obstacle that need to be handled. But the question is, are they ready to handle Sheikh Gumi? Are they ready? Are they ready to handle Sheikh Gumi? Not only rhetorics. Rhetorics alone will not solve the problem. Are you ready to handle Sheikh Gumi? So why they are lobbying, trying to change the language? We know that the language is changing gradually. Let us listen to this lawmaker. You see how they are lobbying? You see some lawmakers in the United States that are changing their language, but it doesn't matter. We don't care. We don't care. All we know is that the truth must come out. The truth must be told. And I thank Chukwu Okike for President Trump, just like my brother wrote here, that you cannot lobby Chukwu Okike. You cannot lobby Chukwu Okike, no matter how you try. You cannot lobby Chukwu Okike. And that is the joy that every Biafra must have. If they like, let them pay billions. Continue to lobby. Continue to bribe. They cannot lobby Chukwu Okike. The appointed time has come. And no matter what you do, no matter how you try to drag things back, the truth must be out. So let us listen to this lawmaker, what he has to say, and look at his own narrative. As they continue to change the narrative, they can never change it. Just like that man that spoke before, is that even when you are lobbying, the statistics have to tally with the lobbying for your lobbying to be effective. But from the statistics that's on the ground, it is not grammar, not by speaking grammar. Evidence at hand. It's not by speaking grammar. Let us hear what this man has to say.
President Trump reinstated that CPC designation. And here's why. Because we know that there has to be some external pressure to help change and shape behavior. And as we were moving through this and we were having our briefings and we were understanding what was going on, and I believe, if he hasn't spoken already, I believe Riley Moore will be here as well, and some of the work that he had done. We were in on some joint hearings, and I knew that I wanted to get a trip over to Nigeria. We had a very compressed calendar with what was going on, but I had a dedicated and great group of folks, bipartisan group, that went over December 19. We were there till December 22. Yes, do the math. It was more time on airplanes than it was on the ground, but it was very, very effective. When we landed on Saturday, we almost immediately went into a dinner with the head of the NSA, Mr. Rabadu, and Minister Musa, and a number of others. The foreign minister was not there. He was with the president. He was with President Tinubu in Lagos at the time. But it was a large, productive, long dinner, and I thought that was helpful. At the end of that dinner, I was talking to Minister Musa, former General Musa, and he was asking, well, what does tomorrow look like? And I indicated to him that we would be actually going to a church service, a Christian Reformed church service. And the head of the Christian Reformed Church in Nigeria, Reverend Magaji, has become a good friend, and he and I had never met in person, but we had met a number of times over Zoom. And we were going to the church, and Minister Musa said, where is it, and what's the name of it, and I may join you. Well, sure enough, he came. And I felt like that was a bit of a turning point. I hope it was a turning point. He ended up doing a number of interviews after the church service as well, where he reinforced this notion of this not just being hooligans and people that were out. He was calling them out with ill intent. He was calling them terrorists, and I think that's the appropriate language to be using. And no doubt, Nigeria is extremely complicated. There's a number of factors. I keep getting asked by the media, but this isn't just about religion. I said to a reporter yesterday, I said, could you tell me what conflict in the world is only about religion? Right? It's about power. It is about money. It's about a number of things that always are happening there. But I think some of my colleagues are denying the flip side of the coin when they say, well, this is just about herdsmen and property owners and conflict. Well, they are missing the other side of that coin, which is the religious motivation.
Exactly.
Oftentimes, those actions. And we have to acknowledge that. They haven't seemed to have been able to acknowledge that. I hope that they're able to come along.
They have to acknowledge it
and understand that and be able to acknowledge that. But you know, we saw the strike happen on Christmas Day. I kind of wondered to myself if they would have maybe delayed it a little bit because we were in country. I'm glad we didn't find out. But we still saw, however, attacks afterwards, and we know that this has not been fixed. Now, I'm not anticipating that this is just
they have not fixed anything
kind of moment, but we have to see a commitment, not just words, out of the Tinubu government. We have to see actions. As part of our meetings that we had there, we met with the governor of Plateau State as well, and heard his perspective about some legislative actions that were going on about the debate about whether states should have their own police force as well versus just relying on a national police force that oftentimes isn't as responsive as it needs to be. The debate about whether others besides the Fulani who should be able to have weapons for self-defense. There's a number of debates that are happening within Nigeria, and I'll let the Nigerians sort through that. But I believe one of my jobs and one of our jobs writ large here is to check in, make sure that they know that we are watching, we are paying attention, we are taking this serious, and we need to see serious actions on their part as well. Part of that was Chairman Smith's resolution that I'm proud to co-lead that really confirmed the president's CPC designation. It calls out the Fulani Herdsmen Association and some other organizations like that who I believe meet the criteria for being sanctioned, for having some tougher scrutiny put to them. But we know that there's a long ways to go on Nigeria. Just pleased to be a part of hopefully what is going to be a solution. I'm just pleased to see the U.S. government and the president and Congress rising up and saying this isn't acceptable. And I've said this before in some interviews. We cannot allow another Rwanda to potentially happen. And what happens when we wake up one day and that is the case? We would have nobody to blame but ourselves. So this is, I believe, the proper actions. And I think I also was asked yesterday by this reporter, well, what was the message that you wanted sent when you were there? First and foremost, it was, hey, we are watching. And I can tell you, showing up that close to Christmas, there was a number of people that ended up coming back to Abuja because they understood that we were serious when we were showing up and asking for meetings on December 20 and December 21, the week of Christmas. That sent a message in and of itself. But two, we wanted to let them know that, look, the CPC designation is not a permanent mark. This is something you can earn your way off of. This is a list you can get off of, as long as you are doing the proper actions to get off of that list. And I think the other message was an understanding of how important Nigeria is, not just to the success of West Africa, but to the success of all of Africa, and by extension, the entire world. With the largest economy on the continent, largest population, potential that is there, and one of my direct messages was, you talk about the United States and sort of how we all came together. That was one of the discussion points. One of those things that allowed us to be successful is stability. And right now, Nigeria is not able. And it is the government's job to make sure that that stability comes along. And we can be there to help. I think I retweeted this yesterday. There was military transport that had landed with some equipment and some things to help. We want to make sure it's more than just military equipment. That is not going to do it. You have to have the will to change what is happening. And it was a reasonably productive conversation, but as I've said before, actions speak louder than words.
Yes.
And we are going to be watching very closely the actions of the Tinubu government and others to make sure that they are following through on what they say is their goals and objectives. So that's a little bit of the update from our trip. It's hard to believe it was less than a month ago. It seemed like it was January's been a long year, right? There's been a lot that's happened already this year in 13, 14 days. But I just want to say thank you for what your work is and what you are doing. This is important to make sure that you are lending a voice to those that oftentimes don't have a voice, and that's a godly goal. So, congratulations on that. Appreciate it. Thank you.
You have heard it from him. He has spoken very well, and that is what we are saying, that the hand of Chukwu Gabiama is in our case. You can lobby everything, but you can lobby Chukwu Gabiama. Just like this man have said, actions speak louder than words, and we know they will never take action. Musa following him to church to go and follow him and worship in church and grant interview is not enough. Musa coming to talk about Shegumi is not enough. We want him arrested and so many other people. And the man himself is saying that they need more action. And that is what we all expect. We need to see action. Action speaks louder than voice. 2026 will not be for noise making, not to come and talk blah, 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 and you go. That is why we, the Biafran people, must be focused. Continue to focus on unity of purpose. Forget about this pursuit of rank and position and nonsense that some people are doing. Focus on the unity of purpose. Expose the exposable. Talk about critical things, informations. That is what you need. Educate our people. Let us be disciplined. Love ourselves. Continue to stand consistently to demand our freedom. That is the way to go. And I bet you, before the end of 2026, Biafra will be mentioned in such a way that they will never go back again. They have started already. Today, from Christian genocide, Biafra is now in the front line. Lobby say and lobby not say. You see the competition of lobby that the whole media is talking about. It's about Biafra. It is every place now is about Biafra. And it will continue. It is going to continue until the right thing is being done. So we are on the right path. Whatever little thing you are doing in your group, continue to do it. Ignore all these nonsensical positions and whatever people are. People who are just busy trying to put themselves where they are not. Let us focus on the real information. Continue to do your part. Anything you know you can do. Share information. Send it to your friends, relatives. Anything that have to prove that Nigerian government is doing nothing. Exposing them when they lie. Those of us in Nigeria, Get videos of what is happening, information, send it to us so that we can pump it out there, let people see it. Pump it and let them know that they are doing nothing. And I thank Chukwu Okokarima that the Democrats are not sleeping. You see this man that spoke now? He was in Nigeria in December. This video, this update, he gave this update yesterday. Yesterday update. And you hear him say that it is not by talk, it is action. They are not doing enough yet. That the United States is watching closely, and they are watching. It doesn't, if you like, pay $9 billion, it cannot save you. You cannot bribe Chukwu Okabiam. Chukwu Okabiam have made it that the time has come for us to be free, and we are going to be free. They cannot stop us. They can try for all I can, but they can never succeed. Wherever you are as a Biafran, remain consistent, remain strong, remain focused. Continue to do your own part. I will continue to do my own part, coming online every blessed day to talk. Whether there is somebody listening or not, I know that Chukwu Okukabama has a way of spreading the gospel. To encourage my Biafran people and to show the world what is going on. That is our job. To continue to present Biafra as the only remedy to the whole problem. To make sure that our voice is heard. You can do it. So as you are watching, like and share this video. If you have not yet clicked like, you are not doing yourself any good. Like the program and share it in your own WhatsApp group. Share it in your own plan so that other people can see what is going on and be encouraged. They can able to see what is going on and know the truth. Because the conventional media in Nigeria will always lie. That is why we go to their platform, we bring their lie, we expose it. Somebody like Abati, you see how Abati was disgraced today? He could not even talk. You see how Abati was disgraced. He was the one congratulating Nigeria for paying $9 billion. Oh, that Nigeria is supposed to be there. They're supposed to be there talking too. That was what he said. Oh, Nigeria is supposed to be there, making their own part also. And he has forgotten. That every evidence is overwhelming. The statistics says a different thing. You are lobbying. You are wasting your money. Because before your lobbying will work, the statistics must be the same thing with the lobbying. It will be the same thing. And I love that man. That man broke everything down, told them the number of people who are on Twitter, number of people on Instagram, number of people on Facebook, number of people on X. And I bet you all those numbers he's calling, I can bet you, take it to the bank, 50% of those people are Biafrans. 50% of the people that are in those social media networks, they are Biafrans. They are Biafrans. And the rest are the other people. Take it to the bank. Take it to the bank. So there is no way they can be able to change the narrative. They cannot. They can try, but they will not succeed. My fellow Biafrans, I appreciate everyone that have joined us on this evening program. We will continue tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, we have another very important video that we are going to play. Very, very important. Don't miss tomorrow program. Don't miss it. Tomorrow program is going to be a bomb blast. It's a blockbuster. Blockbuster tomorrow morning. Be there for that very exposition and decimation of lies. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for being part of the program. May Chukwu Okukama guide and protect every one of you, and may Chukwu Okukama guide and protect our leaders. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow morning.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. There was a nation living in peace and unity. Yeah. They are people with love and harmony. Oh, yeah. They saw greatness rise up to its purity. With another people of different culture, ideal heritage, bias and oppressive. Oh, I see a nation from trigger of Africa, rising with strength and might and power. In due time, nobody gonna praise us. Rather, you all gonna embrace her. With your flag, with your flag, with your flag, with your flag. Oh, yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. Oh yeah, Biafra is our home. Oh, it's my home. Yeah, Biafra is our home.
I reminisce way back 1967. Death toll on the blood couldn't count them even. Mama screaming, child squealing, pops on the ground. 2.5 years, over 3 million's gone. Why? Cause we asked for our freedom, and we're going back to our sovereign kingdom. They shut us down when we cried, the world said nothing. Sitting back in the crib, watching our suffering. Should I talk about the planes dropping shells like rain? Suka had the first taste of a hero's blood. Abaganazo Bunigwe was stronger than flood, but the juke is too strong and fought them off on the chart. Thought the bloodshed's gone, then it came again. 216 and the massacre, it started again. So bloody name, I couldn't cry tears. Blood dripping down my eyes, water in my veins. We died trying to fight the cause and we're trying to break him. It's our freedom, but the world was against us.
Wave your flag over Africa. Welcome people of Biafra. Wave your flag over all the world. See those people of Zion is here.
It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion. It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home.